You say you're not chopped. Open your TikTok camera, take a picture, and tell me what audio you get. Just real quick. I'll show you mine. I bet I'm chopped.
They said I had antisocial personality disorder.
Go for the young one, not the old one. And before you get triggered, hear me out. I'm not saying every younger woman is better, and I'm not saying every older woman is damaged. There are always exceptions to the rule, but there is a reason men often marry and search for younger women. And it's not just about looks, it's about moldability, how you are able to mold something. If you're a good man, a strong leader, a real teacher, you want a woman who's willing to learn, adapt, and grow with you. You want to build together. But what are you going to teach a woman who's already hardened by life, who is stuck in her ways, carries more baggage than luggage, and argues every time you try to lead or guide her? That is not partnership, that is combat. See, a younger woman still has curiosity. She's open. She's impressionable. If she's with the right man, she becomes an advantage because she's being shaped in love, not control. What's easier to mold, clay or a hardened stone? Men are builders by nature. They build careers, empires, and families. So of course they're drawn to women who want to be built with, not women who fight the blueprint that he lays down. It's not about age. It's about your attitude. It's about your openness, softness, and the willingness to evolve.
Guys, if a girl comes back to you months after not being together and says, I've had this epiphany, I'm supposed to be with you, I'm going to tell you right now, you stay very calm and you say, I'm so glad that you have worked on yourself to know that the relationship we had is one that you could see in your future, but unfortunately it is not with me, but I wish you the best. You do not go back to somebody that's coming back for you, because the likelihood that she just wants to see how much control she still has over you and how much she can manipulate you to get back in your life to do things that she wants, the likelihood is very high. You need to just thank her, say I wish you well, and continue on in your life.
Men, look, just so there's no confusion, if a woman is interested in you, this is her first move, okay? And that's it. So if you see that, that's the green light.
Is it just me, or is there anything better than coming home from work on a Friday afternoon, quickly putting your sweatpants on, grabbing a bag of chips, hopping into bed, and continuing a serial killer documentary? I think not. If you disagree, then we can't be friends. Simple as that.
I swear to God, men on TikTok have no filters. They're unhinged. And this is a great time in history to be alive as a woman, because they're finally really telling us how they feel and what they think. Finally, what a time to be alive.
If I ever get married again, there's one thing I've promised myself you're going to not catch me doing, and that is talking down to my husband, or more specifically about my husband, to other people. How does it make sense if I'm wanting him to rise to a bar or a standard that I have, for me to be the one to tear him down? This culture of women coming together just to complain about their husbands is just so not it. I've noticed in my own experience and in my study of relationships that the way we speak about our men sets the tone for how they show up. I think we've lost sight of the feminine power that we have to invite and inspire a man to show up as and step into this role of protector, provider that a good man will want to be. But if I'm nagging and critical and controlling, all I'm doing is triggering his biological instinct for competition and defensiveness, not connection. So instead, choosing to carry myself in a way that is soft and warm and receiving, and speaking to and about my man in a way that is assuming that he is capable, that invites him to step into that protector, provider, strong man role. So as women, it's not lowering our standards by any means. It's just giving him the space to step into them.
Some of you aren't going to like this, but these are the 3 types of women that will drain a man dry emotionally and mentally. If you want peace, avoid them. First is the divorced woman who has not healed yet. She's still carrying baggage from her past, and you will end up paying the emotional price for a man
that you never met. Until she completely closes that chapter fully, she cannot open a healthy one with you. Most divorced women carry years of trauma, resentment, and trust issues. That means you're not just dating her, you are unpacking wounds that you didn't create. Second is the single mom. This isn't disrespect, it's reality. You will never come first because her child always will. That's good for the kid, but for you as a man, it changes everything. And don't forget, the baby daddy will always be in the picture. There's history you can't erase, ties you cannot control, and you have to ask yourself if you're strong enough to handle that or if you even want to. Third, the ultra busy CEO type. Ambition looks attractive from the outside, but if she's living in her masculine energy 24/7, she will not be able to soften into her feminine with you. A relationship needs polarity, masculine and feminine flowing together. If you're both stuck in masculine mode, it's not partnership, it is a competition, and that will drain you. And the truth is, a lot of these women don't know how to turn it off. They bring that energy into the bedroom, and over time, intimacy will die. These are not insults, they are facts. If this makes you mad, ask yourself why. Maybe it hit a nerve because there's truth in it. Instead of reacting emotionally, think about what this means for your standards, your relationships, and your peace as a man. If you are tired of the sugar-coated advice and want raw truth about dating, dynamics, follow me, message me, because I will always give it to you straight.
Do I want to be single? No. Do I want to be married? No. Do I want a part-time boyfriend who isn't seeing anybody else and only does things when I want to, but otherwise kind of leaves me alone and doesn't make a mess of my house? Yes, I do.
I always realize that everybody ages and starts to look older. It's just that I didn't think, it was actually going to happen to me too.
I have to say I feel sorry for some of you men out there in the dating world because it is 2025. I'm a 38-year-old female, and these women out here even confuse me. Some women out here putting Jesus in their bio, but then you go look at their stuff and it's nothing but thirst traps, lustful, seductive content. I mean, the modern day woman calls serving your husband oppression, but yet will have no problem going out and serving a male boss and cry that that's empowerment. And real feminine energy is not sexual marketing like the modern day woman might tell you. Y'all are getting seduction and femininity like completely confused. And I've said it before, but a lot of women have this long laundry list of unrealistic criteria that they want in a man, but yet they bring nothing to the table. And we don't talk about that. We tell the women, no, you are a queen, you will be treated as such, but we're not teaching women how to be wives these days. And I would go out on a limb and say that most of the women out in the modern day dating culture do not actually have standards, they have entitlement and accountability. A woman's kryptonite. Some of you ladies are going to die alone, still blaming men for the choices that you made.
Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm here to teach you all about spoiled milk theory. And spoiled milk theory is going to change your life. It's going to change your life. I learned this from my mom and her friends, and it's about dating. Specifically when you break up with somebody. When you break up with somebody, it's kind of like when you take your milk out of the fridge and you open it up and you realize that it's spoiled. So what do you do with that milk? Do you throw it away, get rid of it, send that thing in the trash, and go get some new milk? Or do you put it back in the fridge to see what it's going to taste like in another 6 months? Words to live by. Words to live by.
So what is the age gap limit? Whether it's up or down? Is it 5 years up and down? Is it 10 years up and down? My dad's friend, who he's been like a lifer, single, like never married, no kids. His has always been half his age plus 8. So he's 60. So 38 would be the youngest that he could date, right? So if he was 50, it'd be 25 plus 8. So 33 would be the youngest he can date. He said he does not date older women, but he'll date his age and down to his threshold. Is there a limit for men or women? Would they go above? What is the youngest you will date? I can't imagine dating a guy younger than me. Not to say that I wouldn't, but just very different stages in life. But I also think a girl that is 23 compared to 33 is drastically different from their like personality, interests, everything. have changed so much, but I'm so curious. What is that threshold? What is that line that you will not go below?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you cannot be interested and inconsistent. Okay? It doesn't work like that.
There are 3 buckets of men. There is the player, there's the nice guy, and then there's the feminine man. I'm going to start describing the player. The player does everything right, except for the latter part of the dating, which they're like, yeah, got her, and they're just using women. The player knows how to set up a date. The player gets someone off the dating apps real freaking quick, gets a number, sets up a date, confirms the date, gets flowers, goes to her house, picks her up, brings her back, compliments her, sometimes tells her what to wear. Women love that. They do. Tells her what to wear and says all the right things. That's the player. And they get the woman hooked real quick. And then they play them afterwards. But that's number 1.
Yesterday, I was talking to an older guy while I was bartending at a banquet. And he said, oh, I think I have a daughter close to your age, and then my younger one is probably younger than you. I said, oh, how old's the older one? He goes, she's almost 27. I said, oh, how old's the youngest one? Oh, she's 20. I'm 20. Do I look 27?
This guy at work was like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 27. He goes, God damn. I'm like, what? Should I be freaking out too? What is that?
I'm always like, I just want to meet a guy organically. Like, I don't want to do the dating apps. I just want to meet him in the wild. I want him to come up to me at Whole Foods and be like, hey, do you want to go get a drink? But realistically, if a guy came up to me at a Whole Foods and asked me if I wanted to grab a drink, I would be like, get the fuck away from me, you fucking freak weirdo. Like, I'm just trying to food shop. Can women have any peace these days, you know?
I thought I was healed, but it turns out I just hadn't talked to any men that aggravated me for a while.
What is going on with the dating scene? Because everyone that I know is going through the same exact thing. Oh, I'm talking to this guy, but he doesn't know what he wants, and I want to be with him, but I don't know what's going on.